Good afternoon. This is Jim Whitehead of All Power Group, and today I'm wearing the hat of Phoenix Animal. And this is a very interesting story. And you know, when I pull these, I have an imagination, but I don't think I could even, if I had to make this story up, I'd be like, it probably wouldn't be, very detailed, I guess you might say. The name of it, the story today is, this is a very unique rescue center, and it's in the cloud forest of the Ecuadorian Andes. Now, you can see from, I guess, what you're looking at now, kind of where we're heading, but I certainly will explain everything. Now, here is the Andes, Ecuadorian Andes Mountains, and we all love mountains, but it's beautiful. And what we're finding deep in the mist, as you can see, a shrouded cloud forest of the Ecuadorian Andes sits a facility called Oasis de las Sombras, in parentheses, Oasis, excuse me. I'm old enough to say things right, but anyway, thank you. Oasis of the Shadows. While most centers focus on the bright and the beautiful, Oasis is the world's only sanctuary dedicated exclusively to nocturnal and bioluminescent wildlife. Now that's interesting because I know most of us wouldn't see this anyway. Again, looking at the facility, and we'll kind of explain what this and why this is and what's the benefit and why this is being used to take care of a certain segment of the animal population. The setting. The center isn't made of cages, but of massive interconnected geodesic domes made of smart glass that remains pitch black during the day and turns transparent at night. Boy, that's interesting. And you're saying, so yeah, what's the big deal? Why do we have to have this? Well, I'll explain that. This, and here's another picture of it. This allows the residents, creatures who find sunlight painful, to live in a permanent, gentle twilight. So, you know, the bottom line is there are animals, and you're going to see some of them in this presentation, but they can't come out in the bright sunlight. They either come out at night, that's why they say nocturnal, or, you know, in maybe a cave where generally there's not a lot of light, or moreover, you can, how would you say, work on the amount of light that you come in contact with. So again, this facility is designed to keep animals during the day in the bright sunlight where they're protected from that sunlight. But at night, the dome is, as stated, transparent so they can see what's going on. I mean, they wouldn't want to be in a dome that's, you can't see the stars or whatever, the moon. Not that they're specific to that, but you know what I'm trying to say. The protagonist, the story follows Elena, a veterinarian who moved there after discovering a rare species of glass frog that glowed, you know, a soft pulsing violet when it is happy. How do you like that? Wouldn't you love where if I was happy, I'd be a certain color, and if I'm unhappy, I'm another color? Boy, wouldn't that be good where you'd be able to see exactly what's going on. Now, you see Alina here, and she is able to watch via cameras and her, you know, her monitors, all the animals that are in this location, so that she's sure that, you know, they're okay and they get their food and so on and so forth. But the thing is, it's a very specific facility and very interesting. Her favorite resident was Balthazar, an Andean cloud fox born with a rare genetic mutation that made his, you know, I think I get this a little backwards. Excuse me. Anyway, this is the shimmer of the cloud fox born with this rare genetic mutation that he, in essence, glows in the dark. So, kind of very interesting. It made his fur shimmer like silver moonlight. Now, Balazar had been rescued from a traveling circus where he was kept under harsh stage lights that had nearly blinded him. So, you know, I know in the old days, they don't do much with circuses anymore, but, you know, this is how circuses made money. They had unusual animals, and they would parade them out for people paying money. And our poor fox here is not, you might say, built to be in lighting. He needs to be, in essence, in so many words, in the dark during the day, and then he's nocturnal, comes out at night when he can, you know, go about his business. The night of the storm, okay, one Tuesday evening, a massive landslide cut power to the dome's climate control. Now you can see it's in the mountains, and unfortunately, and if you've heard me in the past, I always moan and groan because I was a generator guy. I moan and groan about electric power above ground, because anything that happens, that goes down. And, you know, it wouldn't happen if it was a brown, below ground. Now, let me go back. I want to make sure I missed one thing. This is another, as you can see, a frog that is translucent. And what's interesting is you can tell his mood by his color. And obviously, you know, if he's happy, he's this color. If he's unhappy or hungry, it's another color. So how do you like that? And as I said earlier, it'd be nice if we all were so transparent that, you know, we wouldn't have to hide things. People say, "What's the matter, Jim? You're blue." Oh, now you're yellow. I guess you're okay. But anyway, so this storm took down the electricity, and they lost it in this domed facility, meaning they could not control temperature. And, again, all these animals have to be in a very unique, controlled environment, or they're going to have problems. If they need heat, they need heat. If they need, of course, food and water and what have you. But making sure that they don't get sunlight. I mean, it's almost like a vampire. I know you'd say, well, whoa, vampires, they can't go out in the day. Anyway, they have to go in their crypt at night. I mean, during the day, I'm sorry. Got it backwards. Am I backwards today? I don't know. So the tropical nocturnal animals would freeze within hours. So this is a crisis. The wonderful controlled facility isn't being controlled. So, Alina has to do something. She knew she couldn't wait for a crew. She began a lightless evacuation because the animals were sensitive to flashlights. Believe it or not, just a flashlight. She had to move them using only the natural glow of the luminescent moss that lined the walkways. So she's in quite a quandary. She's got very unique, I'm sure, animals that she loves that are in a crisis mode, and she's got to do a lot of things to help save them. She carried it's the olingotaus. I mess up if you watch this so you can watch me destroy names of animals that I'm not familiar with. This is the olingotaus. What they are, they're a small raccoon-like carnivore, and she had to take them. You can see them there, but she took them in her coat to keep them from having a lot of light. So, it's really, other than trying to make sure the animals are safe and don't get hurt, she's going to make sure that they don't get a lot of light on them. And this happened during the day, so it's kind of one of those things where it's certainly a problem. Okay, she guided the giant lunar moss, there you can see, by whistling a low frequency they mistook for a mate's vibration. So, again, this is a moth that cannot be exposed to a lot of light. So she had to use whatever she could to get them back where they would be out of light. Anyway, the silver fox refused to move. He stood at the edge of his enclosure, sensing the shifting earth outside. Animals, better than human beings, they can sense things, like storms, hurricanes, you name it. So, it's kind of neat that they can sense it, but of course, in a lot of cases, they need help. And this is what Alina is doing. Okay, so the unique rescue, Balthazar, didn't run for the exit. Here you see him again. Instead, he began to howl. Not a mournful sound, but a sharp, rhythmic bark. Following the sound, Elena discovered a hidden drainage pipe that had become blocked by the slide, causing water to build up behind the main dome. And there you see what we're talking about. If it bursts, the whole sanctuary would slide down the mountain. So you can really see she's, I don't want to say up the creek without a paddle, but that's about what, probably a good way of describing it. So, it's like, what's going to happen if we can't take care of this, we might lose the whole facility. And when something goes down the side of a mountain, that's a problem. So anyway, because of the fox saying, hey, come over here, come over here, come over here, it was, in essence, where she could take care of it and save the facility. So working in total darkness, Elena and the shadow staff, other people that help her, used Balthazar's silver fur as a beacon to navigate the mud. So he is bright. It's helping them see. And now they find the pipe there, and they are going to work on clearing it. So they cleared the blockage just as the pressure peaked. The water drained safely into the valley below. So there you go. They're saved. The facility is saved. So we're heading in the right direction. The aftermath. When the sun rose the next morning, the domes darkened to protect the animals' eyes. Alina sat in the observation room watching the monitors. Through the infrared camera, she saw Balthazar curled up in a ball where you can see she's looking at him on the monitor there. And he was glowing silver, finally asleep in the safety of the shadows. At Oasis, they didn't bring animals into the light to save them. They learned how to protect them in the dark. So I hope you found that a little unique. When as I've said in my presentations, yes, I use AI from the point of view of in this case, this morning, I said, okay, give me a very unusual, unique animal rescue location or facility anywhere in the world. And this is what they came up with. And I at first almost said, I don't know if I'm going to be able to explain this real well. Because it's like, you're not going to, if you say, Jim, nothing, I didn't get anything that you said or understood anything you said. But this is, I guess, a reality because as I said in many times before, I don't make this stuff up. And I don't think I could even make it up. Or it would, I have imagination, but I don't know if it would have it where you'd say, yeah, that's real logical, Jim. But anyway, the good news is it all worked out. And of course, I'll be looking for the next time I do this, another unique, unusual animal rescue location somewhere in the world. And that's what I've been doing the last 2-3 weeks. And I find it interesting. I enjoy it. And by the way, I have, of course, what you're watching now is Phoenix Animal. And then I also have a Power Coffee News channel that I'm slowly working up. But, if you're able to subscribe to either one, I really, really appreciate it. And the name of the second channel, as you can see, is called Power Coffee News. Anyway, I want to wish you, tomorrow is New Year's Eve, and, just one little aside point with just talking about the holidays, July 4th, Labor Day, New Year's Eve. I mean, as I've said many times too, I love animals. And, people have to go out and buy fireworks. And every animal, and I'm in an environment over here in Naples. It's called Golden Gate Estates. We're kind of in the woods in so many words. We have bears here. We have panthers. We have deer, cats, uh, rabbits, just about many, many different animals. And that is wonderful. I love that. But on these holidays, when people are firing off firecrackers and in some cases guns, and it's just not necessary. When I was over in Davie, Florida, on the other side of the state, the town I lived in, they would put signs out. It's against the law to do, fireworks, because technically it is against the law in Florida, but they kind of let it go. And when you go to buy fireworks, you have to sign. And again, I'm not an official on this, and I've not ever done it, but you have to sign a form that says you're only going to use the fireworks you're purchasing for animal control in the sense of, like, let's say you got a field of corn and all the animals want to eat your corn, and you use fireworks to protect your crop. But that's a long way from what ends up happening, where people just do this stuff that they shouldn't do. And it's dangerous and it's expensive. So, and yeah, when I was a kid, we always wanted to have fireworks because we were kind of stupid and didn't think something bad was going to happen. But it usually does. I don't look for it, but I'm sure every holiday like this, somebody loses a finger from, not handling fireworks properly. So anyway, that said, since tomorrow is New Year's Eve, I want to wish you, and the next day is New Year's, excuse me. I want to wish you the very, very best New Year. And we look forward to hopefully having a good 2026. And there's a lot of things that we need to kind of, you might say, go in a much better direction. So thank you very much. And I look forward to seeing you in 2026. Take care. Be well.